week, but for us moving forward in the city and county of Los Angeles. Putting a game plan on paper, how we can continue to march towards our ultimate goal of eliminating homelessness from the streets of our great city.
LA County's agreement will increase outreach teams and bolster the city and county's ability to build and support homeless housing developments. The county's settlement follows the city's in April, which focuses on creating new housing for those who can reasonably be assisted. For more information, visit the press room tab at lamayor.org.
The Department of Rec and Parks is responsible for making sure Angelenos have parks and sports facilities that are well-maintained, accessible, and safe. That is the main goal of Jimmy Kim, the newly appointed general manager of this department, as well as turning community spaces into hubs where people come together. Check it out.
Recreational parks can be defined as Griffith Park, Venice Beach, Hanson Dam, but to Angelenos, we're a collection of neighborhood parks, local swimming pools, rec centers, daycare centers, after-school centers. We just opened an amazing new facility, Michelle and Barack Obama Sports Complex. This department is made up of men and women ranging from gardeners to park rangers to lifeguards to rec directors, rec assistants, all stewards of our parklands here in the city of Los Angeles. My main priority is to provide safe and accessible parks for the Angelenos that utilize our parks. I'm also looking to make sure that we gap the digital divide from our communities and make our community centers and parks community hubs, right, where people can come together, not only recreate, but also utilize resources to connect to the internet and reach out to people from all over the world and get data so that doesn't become a barrier. In the falls here, LAUSD has started school, and so the department has an amazing after-school program that is currently active. Our after-school program provides pickup from local schools around the center. The programming includes not only help with homework, but also social and mental health type activities that kids can partake in. We also have our Play LA program this fall that's continuing from our success last summer and the fall launch that we had last year. And that's an amazing program where we provide low-cost, equitable programming to our communities. We have a robust aquatics program where people can learn to swim. Learning to swim is free in the city, so I encourage people to go out there, find a local pool, and learn to swim. I personally am a park user, and so it's important to me to make sure that our parks are clean, accessible, and have just amazing programs. So I look forward in my leadership here and leading the wonderful men and women of the Department of Recreation and Parks.
Rec and Parks isn't the only department offering programs for Angelenos. Stick around to hear about what the public library has in store. Do you think museums are just serious and quiet places? A day at the Grammy Museum in collaboration with Council District 9 is proof that museums can be a lot of fun with interactive exhibits where people can dance, sing, play instruments, and discover the ins and outs of the music business. The Grammy Museum welcomes everyone inside their doors.
We are thrilled to be hosting a day at the museum with Council District 9 and Councilman Curran Price and his wonderful staff today. We try to be the opposite of a boring museum. We are a highly interactive music museum. This is about celebrating music and the greatest art form, at least in my opinion, that there is.
First of all, we're just excited to be here at the Grammy Museum in the 9th District. And this is just an exciting opportunity for us to expose our young people to the obstacles and opportunities in the music business. And what better place than the Grammy Museum? And so we're just so proud and pleased that it exists in our community and that our community residents have a chance to take advantage in learning some of the resources that are here.
There's all kinds of programs and exhibits that go on here all the time, and we realize that a sector of our community might not know about us, might not feel comfortable coming down. So these are a way to introduce our facility. We want people to come in and dance and sing and play the drums and learn what a harpsichord is and play a washboard. We want people to touch and feel. We want this to be a tactile and visceral, emotional experience so that people walk away and really connect. They see somebody that looks like them, that sounds like them, and maybe it inspires them to go on and have a career in music. Maybe it inspires them just to listen to more music and broaden their horizons. It's a little bit of everything. We really want to have the opportunity to welcome so many different people with so many different interests, and music really is a way that we can do that. It touches so much.
Part of our mission is really to serve this community. The things that we celebrate, the music, the diversity, the culture, is really a reflection of the community around us. So it's important for us to celebrate, people in music, but also the audience, the people who keep the music alive, who support the music, who will be the future generation of the music. So I think it's really important for us to be able to reflect that, not only in what we do as a museum programmatically, but just also to open up our doors and invite the community in.
We all know the saying, practice makes perfect. And, I've achieved a few things in my life through the music industry and radio industry, but to this day, I still practice. And so, we want to give direction and guidance to show these kids where they can go, how they can have access to certain tools to, further their interest and, in some cases, their talents. And so I'm excited to help feed these kids' minds.
We appreciate the partnership with the Grammy Museum. They are an iconic resource in our community, not just South LA, but all of Los Angeles, all of Southern California, and indeed the world. And to have a world-class partner working with our community, working with our kids, is inspiring for all. So we're just very appreciative.
Power outages, major windstorms, wildfires, and earthquakes are unexpected disasters that Angelenos need to be prepared for. By doing so, you are making sure that you protect yourself, your family, and your community. Jennifer Lazo from the Emergency Management Department shared some valuable tips to help Angelenos stay prepared and safe in case of a disaster.
Angelenos need to be prepared for everything from a power outage to a major Santa Ana windstorm to wildfires and earthquakes. Disasters can happen without any notice or warning, and so by being prepared, you can make sure to protect yourself, your family, and your community. One of the first steps is gathering the information that you need to be prepared, so signing up for emergency alerts and knowing how to get good information. Also, you want to gather the supplies needed for your disaster preparedness kit. This might mean having a bag under your bed with shoes and a flashlight, having food and water and blankets set aside in case you need to evacuate or shelter in place at home. You also want to make a plan with your loved ones for if you have to leave rapidly, where will you meet? How will you get in contact with each other? Finally, you want to make sure to be informed. You want to have all of the information you need to take good actions during an emergency. This involves signing up for Notify LA at notifyla.org, which is our emergency alerting system. That will tell you the information you need to be ready to go. This system can send you a phone call, a text message, an app notification, and you can even buzz your phone like an Amber Alert so that you find out that something is going on in your neighborhood. To get your community prepared, we have a program called Ready Your LA Neighborhood, which allows you to gather with your community members and talk about what needs you might have. So for kids, maybe it's knowing that they have a trusted neighbor that they can go to if there's an emergency while they're at home alone. Also, maybe you know that there's a doctor down the street if something happens and you can't get to a hospital or an urgent care clinic. It's National Preparedness Month, which is a really great time to take these actions. We know that there's a lot of different hazards that can affect the city of Los Angeles, and we need to be ready for all of them.
This week, in our ongoing series celebrating the 60th anniversary of the LA Cultural Heritage Commission, we visit the Korean National Association Memorial Hall. Once the center for the Korean national movement, this place of meeting and education tells the story of the Korean community and contributes to the rich diversity of Los Angeles. Let's hear this story.
We are at the Korean National Association Memorial Hall, City Cultural Monument number 548. designated in 1991.
그 전에는 대한인국민회가 샌프란시스코에 그 사무실을 두었고 처음으로 이 건물을 로스앤젤레스로 이전하면서 지은 건물입니다. 그리고 미국과 그 다음에 멕시코 그리고 큐바에 있는 동포들과 함께 상해 중국에 있는 임시 정부를 도왔습니다.
From 1937 to 1945, it was the center of the Korean national movement, fighting for independence from Japan, pre-World War II and during World War II. Subsequently, it's become a meeting place, a place of education, and a place of telling the history of the Korean community.
2003년에 이 건물을 새로 리모델링을 해서 독립운동의 전시관으로 만들었습니다. 대한인국민회의 이 지금 기념관은 한인사회에서 역사 교육장이자 우리 그 차세대들의 나라 사랑 정신을 키워주는 곳입니다.
I think one of the important things about this building is that it really shows the importance of preservation as telling the history of Los Angeles. This isn't about architecture. You drive by, you don't pay any attention to the building. But the history of what happened in this building is important to understanding the city of Los Angeles, the diverse communities of Los Angeles, and how LA became the city, the international city it has become.
Have fun at the spectacular Boo at the LA Zoo. Attend a free bike safety lesson at the Edendale Branch Library, or enjoy the theater play Desert Stories for Lost Girls. All this up next on Things to Do.
The most spooky and fun night of the year is still about a month away, but the staff and the animals at the LA Zoo are already getting ready to trick-or-treat visitors with their special programming, Boo at the Zoo. This program welcomes adults and kids and will consist of spooktacular activities like open-air live shows, animal pumpkin feedings, themed photo ops, education stations, trick-or-treat weekends, and much more. Boo at the Zoo is free for guests who purchase a general admission ticket and will be taking place every day at the LA Zoo from Saturday, October 1st until Monday, October 31st. For more information, click on the Plan Your Visit tab at lazoo.org. Attention cycling aficionados. The Metro Bicycle Education Safety Training Program is holding an open class to introduce the bike share system as well as important safety guidance at the Edendale Branch Library. Attendees will learn about basic bike safety skills, rules of the road, traffic laws, bike services, and events offered by Metro. Those who register and complete the course will also get a free 30-day Metro Bike Share Pass, a free helmet, and a set of bike lights. Bike Share 101, Safety Basics, is free and open to teens and adults. It takes place at the Edendale Branch Library on Thursday, September 29th at 5 p.m. For more information and to register, visit lapl.org/events. Do you believe your ancestors walk with you? Lily Rushing's Desert Stories for Lost Girls, a new theatrical production in collaboration between Native Voices at the Autry and the Latino Theater Company, is a lyrical rumination on family, identity, and colonialism over generations. The story follows 18-year-old Carrie when she moves in with her grandmother, Rosa, and is thrown into a world of memory and mystery that unearths her family story and identity. Desert Stories for Lost Girls will take place at the city's Department of Cultural Affairs Los Angeles Theater Center from Wednesday, September 28th until Sunday, October 16th. Performances are at 8 p.m. from Thursday to Saturday and at 4 p.m. on Sundays. For more details about the show and to buy tickets, visit latinotheaterco.org. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's it for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.
Good morning and welcome to, whoa. Ed, what happened? Okay, good morning and welcome to the Los Angeles City Council. Today is Wednesday, September 28th. I'm Noria Martinez, the President of the City Council. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Blumenfield, Bonin, Buscaino, absent. Cedillo, absent. De Leon, absent. Harris Dawson, Hutt, Koretz, Krikorian, Lee, absent. Martinez,
Present.
O'Farrell, Price, absent. Rahman, Rodriguez. 10 members present and a quorum, Madam President.
First order of business.
Approval the minutes of September 23rd, 2022.
Mr. O'Farrell moves and Ms. Rodriguez seconds. Next.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Ms. Hunt moves and Mr. Blumenfield seconds.
Items 1 through 13 are items for which public hearings have been held. Items 14 through 25 are items which public hearings have not been held. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Members, you wish to call any of these items special? Ms. Rodriguez?
For a separate vote, please.
Item 5 for a separate vote. Thank you. Any other specials, members? Mr. Bonin?
Separate vote.
Any other specials, members? So you see no other members on the queue? If you can press your button, that would help me. Mr. Koretz?
Item 9 for comments, please.
Item number 9 for comments for Mr. Koretz. Any other specials, Ms. Rahman?
All set, thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I'm all set, thank you.
You see no other members on the queue? Madam Clerk, which are the available items for us to vote on?
Madam President, Council may vote on items 1 through 4, 6 through 8, 10 through 13, 15, 19 through 23.
Okay, let's go ahead and open the roll on those items. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
I'm going to go ahead and move into public comment. If I call your name, please come up to the podium. Arnold Sachs. Mr. Sachs, you signed up for general public comment, items 16 through 18 and items 24 and 25. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning. Arnold Sachs. Again, item 24 refers to a track map, but no mention of any Quimby fees. You've gotten rid of Quimby fees. Quimby fees used to be used for parks. The developers used to pay a fund so it would help get parks in the city of LA. I know you're overrun with parks and recreation areas, but to get rid of Quimby fees without parks doesn't make sense. Item 25 is an item, let me just read it. Relative authorizing one resolution authority without funding for one public information director for the Bureau of Sanitation from September 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023. Without funding. How is he going to get paid without funding? Don't you need funding to pay for these positions? It's magic. Magical. Item, what do we got here? We had another Quimby fee, there's no Quimby fee in that. We have AB 1290 funds that are missing again, that used to come from the Community Redevelopment Act that was done away with by the governor back about 8 years ago to save money. But that doesn't matter. We're moving along quite well. What else we have here? Oh, we have the Los Angeles Housing Department and the Los Angeles County Housing Department agency. How much money is budgeted between the county housing agency and the city housing department? How many employees are employed by both of those agencies? Where is the money going? How come we have another homeless plan? Back in 2001, Mayor James Hahn came up with a homeless plan. We probably had homeless plans. We went from 2017, when we were discussing a homeless plan by Mark Ridley Thomas, to homelessness. What is the difference between homeless and homelessness? Where is that money going to? Mr. Harris Dawson, weren't you a staff member for Mark Ridley Thomas before you became an elected official? Do you remember when he was dealing with Obamacare? That was pretty wild. My public comment.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's see. Jessica Lau for mayor. Going green or for President Biden, the money. We have an acute water shortage. Maybe you're not paying attention. We also had the honor of having the KKK appearing here in city council chambers back when Herb Wesson was the president of the city council. That was a real great move. No other goddamn government agency ever had the KKK come into the city council chambers, but LA stands alone. Number 13 says something about approval as to form. Mr. City Attorney, do you approved as to form or does contact count? Also, let's go about the LA Arena Land Company, which is a shell corporation for Staples Center. Oh, and let's not forget Sleepy Nate Holden. He was a big deal here, too. And the $640 billion in federal funds that Mark Ridley Thomas stole. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sachs.
Oh, can I give this to the Sergeant Arms?
Go ahead and hand it to the sergeant, please. Thank you.
This is a Metro logo that's not an M.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
He's got it.
thank you, Mr.
And this is a Fame, that's a corporation. First AME Church, that's now a corporation.
Thanks, Mr. Sachs.
The next speaker is Andrew Graebner. Andrew, you signed up to speak on general public comment in item 13.
So actually, we voted on item 13.
I signed up for 14, I think.
No, actually, we already voted on 13.
Or 14. Whatever it is. The
So
one
you
that
can
has
go
the
ahead and speak on
4118
14.
motion.
Okay, so let's start. We'll set a clock for a minute for item 14, and when you're done with item 14, we'll then go to general. So start with 14, please.
All right, so on the agenda today is a motion to add another 4118 zone in the city. We need to stop with 4118, and we need to abolish 4118 completely. 4118 is causing violence. 4118 is violence against our unhoused neighbors. It's not solving anything. All it's doing is forcing our unhoused neighbors to move to another area, and they're not being provided housing, they're not being provided services, they're losing things they own just because rich people don't want to have to see unhoused people on their way to work or whatever. So we need to abolish 4118. Do not pass this motion to expand 4118 even further today. And we need you to provide housing and services for our unhoused neighbors.
Okay, we'll set your clock for a minute for general now.
Okay.
Please begin.
All right, so as usual, I'm not sure what's going on over there. You gonna sit down and listen to public comment? Yeah, we have We have a lot of staffers again on the floor, and I'm seeing a lot of them going up and like talking to city council members. You know, it's public comment period right now, and you should be listening to public comment. Sit down, look up from your phones, look up from your papers, whatever you're doing on the floor, and maybe actually listen to what the people have to say. And then once you hear what the people have to say, maybe that should be reflected in your votes today. So let's listen to the people. This is public comment period. You're required to do it. It's part of your job. So let's listen to public comment.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Kelly Clift. Hi, Kelly. You signed up for general public comment.
Good morning. I also signed up for 22-10-14 Public Safety Committee Report.
Hold on. Let me check. You signed up for item 14?
It's item 13,
Okay,
Public
13
Safety.
13 has already been voted on.
Okay. I wanted to make a...
You're welcome to cover it in your general public comment if you wish. Do you want to do that?
Pardon me?
You want to cover 13 in your general public comment because we already voted on that item.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead and do that.
Good morning, City Council. My name is Kelly Cliff, and I would like to comment regarding Los Angeles Police Department. It has not been voted, but authorized Los Angeles Police Department to execute proposed 8 agreements to security guard companies. Many Los Angeles police officers make extra income as undercover police officers, undercover security at police security guard companies. Also, they may own security guard companies. They may have been a former police officer who now owns a security guard company. Many of these security guard companies were involved with theft of my estate and crimes committed against my murdered father, Walter Cliff, former Los Angeles City employee for over 31 years. My father murdered. And many of the Los Angeles Police Department are making extra income as security guards working undercover, or they own the security guard companies. And I am against many of these security guard companies, including Allied and International, et cetera. Many of the security guard companies listed
Thank you.
can be verified with crimes against my family. Thank you.
Okay, that appears to be the last speaker for today's meeting, so I'm going to go ahead and close public comment. Members, let's go ahead and vote on the following items.
I get a comment.
Sir, did you sign up?
I submitted for public comments. I didn't get a chance. My name is
Okay, sir, what is your name? Because I do not have you on the tablet. So you might have had, were you having trouble back there?
Yeah, I signed up for public comment on the screen and I couldn't, I didn't get called.
Okay, what is your name?
Donald Harlan.
What items do you want to speak on?
I'd like to speak on agenda items 2, 3, number 6.
2 and 3 and 6 have already been voted on.
Number 10, 12, 24.
10 and 12 and 24 have already been voted. No, 24 hasn't. You can speak on 24 in general public comment. The rest of your items have already been voted on.
I understand that.
So you can go ahead and have a minute, and you can discuss.
I'd like the minute in general public comment, please.
Go ahead.
So we're going to start with a minute for item 24. And then when
Okay.
you're done with that, we'll go to a minute in general. You can talk about any of the other items in the general public comments, but start with 24, please.
Agenda item number 24 is land use final plan for 6065 North Hazelhurst Place. I'm concerned that this land is not owned by the people trying to develop it, or that the city council is approving a plan for this property and it's not for the property owner. It shows that it was carved from vacant land, that somebody just declared vacant land and decided, hey, let's not ask the owner of the vacant land, let's just build something. That's 6065 North Hazelhurst Place. And my general public comment.
Okay.
Agenda item number 6, 5715 North Monterey and 5321 East Via Marisol. This is definitely a problem property that with an illegal development. There's 3 changes to the assessor reports. There's out-of-sequence ownership. I believe that the offender appeared somewhere around 2007 because that's when the property went out of sequence of the ownership. Agenda item number 10. There's a problem that the Land Use and Management Committee doesn't own these properties. Why would somebody decide that a CEQA permit or a land use committee owns the property when they don't? There's no such thing as open or vacant property for the city to give away. Every piece of land is owned by citizens since California's been incorporated in 1850.
Speaker, your time is up, but I'm going to go ahead and ask you if you can just go back there and just type in your name again in the tablets just so that I can have a record that you spoke today. Thank you.
Key speaker.
Seeing no other speakers, so I'm going to go ahead and close public comment. At this time, members, we're going to vote on the following items. Items 16 through 18 and item 24 and 25. Let's go ahead and open the roll. Close the roll and tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Madam President, announcement please. The ordinances for items 1 through 4, 6 and 7 are held over to Friday, October 7, 2022. And also, there is a request to have items 12 and 13 to go forthwith, please.
Okay, without objection, let's go ahead and vote on item number 5. Let's go ahead and open the roll. Close the roll and tabulate the vote.
9 ayes, 1 no.
Okay, let's go ahead and vote on item 14. Let's open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
8 ayes, 2 noes.
Let's go ahead and move on to item number 9. This was called special by Mr. Koretz. And before you start, Mr. Koretz, can the record reflect that Mr. Buscaino is here? Thank you. Mr. Koretz, go ahead. Item number 9.
Thank you, Madam President. And I'd like to extend a big thank you to Mr. De Leon for seconding this motion, Mr. O'Farrell for hearing this item and moving it through committee, Dan Whitley in the City Attorney's Office, and Robert Lee in the Office of Finance for your willingness to work with my team to help develop a solution. Colleagues, in November of last year, my office started digging into what appeared to be an oversight in the way the city's been applying gross receipts tax to certain electric vehicle charging transactions. As it turned out, it wasn't so much an oversight as it was our inability to accurately classify and apply gross receipts tax to a particular type of transaction. EV charging station companies have been paying 2 different gross receipts tax rates, $1.27 for every 1,000 of revenue for one-off purchases when someone uses a personal credit or debit card at a charging station, and $4.25 for every $1,000 of revenue when a customer purchases electricity as part of a package they bought or were given when the vehicle was purchased. That's because the electricity purchased as part of a contract or membership entered into with a dealership or electric vehicle company is considered a service and part of the professions and occupations section of the code. Unfortunately, this also means that the gross receipts rate that EV charging station companies are paying on some of their revenue is greater than the gross receipts rate paid by gas stations. And that's certainly not a good way to incentivize EVs. So this effort is intended to right-size the gross receipts tax for EV charging companies. I should also note that we have a lot of work ahead of us to increase and improve public and workplace charging infrastructure. According to a recent Stanford study, the vast majority of electric vehicle owners tend to be middle and high income earners who often charge their batteries at home overnight. often taking advantages of incentives offered by power companies to do so. If these changing charging habits continue as EV use expands, peak electricity demand in California could explode by as much as 25%. So to successfully ramp up our use of electric vehicles without overtaxing the state's power grid, more drivers are going to need to charge their cars during the day and better utilize solar energy. Scaling up the number of stations that support daytime charging could reduce the impacts of EV charging, support a more equitable adoption of electric vehicles, reduce emissions, and smooth the transition to a decarbonized future. This isn't in itself the solution to eliminating tailpipe emissions, but if we're going to take our carbon reduction goals seriously, if we're going to prepare for millions more electric vehicles on the street, and if we're going to take seriously the build-out of EV charging infrastructure in the city, this is a piece of that puzzle. This effort signals to EV charging companies who are already here and those who are considering coming to LA that our city is serious about creating a business climate conducive to a sustainable future. Thank you once again, and I ask for your aye vote.
Mr. O'Farrell?
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to rise and thank Mr. Kretz for his leadership for uncovering yet another nuance in this imperative to get to clean energy by 2035. We want to ramp up electric vehicle purchases and availability and ease of purchases and acquiring electric vehicles, not put more obstacles in the way. We have to remove all of the disconnects, all of the blind spots, all of the obstacles that get in the way, and we're going to uncover many more of these. What happens is the behemoth of bureaucracy really gets in the way, and it's so important if we are to reach our imperative of complete renewable energy by 2035, we have to be master sleuths and look at the deficiencies in codes and ordinances, and that goes for state laws that will actually have to be changed as well. So I want to applaud you for finding this discrepancy and creating this cure for it, because we're actually double charging the incentive of this ability to purchase and maintain electric vehicle ownership. We want to do the opposite and encourage everyone in the private sector, public sector, to get into this business, because it's going to have an all-hands approach. So let's not just say all hands on deck and let it be a hollow slogan. Let it mean something, and that's going to require the kind of work that Mr. Kretz did on this very matter. So thank you again, Mr. Kretz, for your leadership, and I also ask for an urgent aye vote. Thank you.
Okay, seeing no other members on the queue, let's prepare to vote on this item. Open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
What's before us now, Madam Clerk?
Council has motions for posting and referral.
Those are posted and referred. Members, do you have any announcements? Seeing no announcements, can we all rise for adjourning motions? You have an adjourning motion, Ms. Norman? Good. And then followed by Ms. Rodriguez.
Colleagues, I rise today to adjourn in the memory of Candy Williams, beloved sister, mother, wife, aunt, friend, and exceptionally generous member of the Sherman Oaks community, who throughout her entire life was a blessing wherever she went. Her family is here today with us, and I just wanted them to rise so that we can recognize them and their presence as well. Thank you so much for coming. After battling a terminal illness for nearly a year, Candy, a devoted member of Living Praise Christian Church, passed away at the end of last month. Candy's story begins in a way that I and so many others in our city can deeply relate to, immigrating to America. She was born in Trinidad on February 4th, 1960. Her parents, Noble and Madry, and her siblings, Nicole and Sheldon, moved to New York in 1969, before finally settling in California 2 years later, which became the Williams' permanent home. Candy stayed true to California throughout her higher education, studying finance at Cal State, Hayward, and San Francisco State University, and post-graduation working as a budget analyst for Alameda County. In 1988, Candy married Michael Scarlett, and in 1994, they welcomed their son Spencer to the world. In 2003, they made their move to the San Fernando Valley. Candy quickly became integral in making change in the community. Dedicated to serving others, she founded a nonprofit organization called Empowered Gifts, which provided critical resources and care to underserved, underrepresented women experiencing interpersonal abuse, homelessness, and other socioeconomic hardships. She provided gorgeous handbags, for example, filled with feminine hygiene and beauty products to restore self-confidence needed not only to pursue work, but to sustain long-term employment for so many of these women. In 2018, Candy extended her service when she joined the Sherman Oaks Neighborhood Council Board, later being elected by the board to serve as their treasurer. During the pandemic, Candy rose once again to meet the needs of her community. In partnership with Empowered Gifts and the Sherman Oaks Neighborhood Council and other partners, she distributed over 700 handmade face masks to nurses, physicians, first responders, and community members at the Sherman Oaks Hospital. Her service with Empowered Gifts was recognized in 2021 when she was awarded the Dream Charger Nonprofit Award. Her advocacy and concern for her community extended beyond Empowered Gifts, though. She educated neighbors who had received significant rental hikes on their rights and connected them with the information to contact the housing department. And she endeavored to fulfill her mission to serve others even more comprehensively. In mid-2021, she was actually granted acceptance into USC Price School's Master of Public Administration program. She was motivated by her faith to be a force for good and to leave this world a little better than when she found it. She lived her life according to Proverbs 11:25. Whoever brings blessings will be enriched, and one who waters will himself be watered. Candy is warmly and fondly remembered by her family, friends, neighbors, and the countless others whose lives she impacted with her work, and she will be profoundly missed by everyone in the Sherman Oaks community and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rahman, and to the family, thank you for being here. Our condolences are with you. Thank you. Ms. Rodriguez?
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, today I'd like to ask that we adjourn in the memory of Anita Casillas Hernandez. Anita passed away on August 21st, 2022 at St. John's Hospital. She was born in Needles, California on December 19th, 1942. She was a longtime resident of the city of Santa Monica. Anita was a teacher at Head Start preschools in Culver City and in Santa Monica, where she instilled in children her passion for learning. Her passion for learning was further evidenced through her enrollment at Santa Monica Community College, where it was there that she earned an Associates of Arts degree while balancing the responsibilities of motherhood. Her son, John, was moved by this, and it inspired him to become involved in various organizations in the community of Pacoima. John is now a community leader and is the Pacoima Chamber of Commerce member and first State Farm agent in Pacoima. Beyond her passion for education, Anita enjoyed new restaurants, shopping, and bowling. She was a fantastic bowler. At the Mar Vista Bowl, she earned many MVP awards and developed many friendships. She also rejoiced in traveling with loved ones. She traveled frequently across the globe, with her favorite destinations being Hawaii, Puerto Vallarta, and Jalostitlan. Anita was the matriarch of the Hernandez family, and she is survived by her 4 children, Rita Hernandez Venegas, Anita Hernandez Barba, Jaime Hernandez Jr., and John Hernandez, as well as 9 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren. May she rest in peace.
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. Any other adjourning motions to my right? You have another one?
I do have another one. And colleagues, I'd like to ask that we also adjourn in the memory of Hector Cordova Mireles, physicist, professor, and pilot, piano man, Tejano, Germanophile, and family man, who succumbed to cancer on September 16th. He was 56 years old. Ascending in the academy, Hector would often introduce himself as coming from Texas, and he did, as a graduate of UT Austin, and his father and paternal grandparents, Tejanos from Laredo. But actually, he was born on the other border in upstate New York College, town of Potsdam. However, many considered him German. He could lay on a thick Swabian accent. Even Bavarians did a double take. Hector had the gift of a musical ear, and taking up the piano at the age of 5. Singing then followed, becoming a thespian for many musicals in high school, and later as a choral tenor with the choir of the St. Jacobi Kirche of Göttingen and the Cathedral of Los Angeles. Hector earned an AS degree from Bosco Tech in 1985, went on to receive his BS from UC Irvine in 1989, and earned his PhD from UT Austin in the year 2000, joining the faculty at Cal Poly Pomona in 2002. He was elected chair of the Department of Physics and Astronomy in 2016, and was proud that Cal Poly was a national leader in mentoring and preparing Latinx students for graduate study in the physical sciences, especially since his student experience was so challenging. As a sophomore, he declared, quote, "They are trying to weed me out, but they won't because I'm not a weed." Dr. Mireles conducted research in experimental solid-state physics at more than a half dozen research institutes at several universities and in several countries, including the University of Texas, Colorado University, and University of Nebraska, and the renowned Max Planck Institute in Göttingen, and the IFW in Dresden. His research led to several scholarly published journal papers. In 2010, Hector was awarded a senior faculty fellowship from ICAM at the University of California. Next to singing, flying was Hector's favorite thing to do. He earned his license in 2005 and joined the Aeroflight Flying Club in Upland. He logged some 500 pilot hours, in the most in the club's meticulously restored 1975 Cessna 182 Skylane. In his youth and as an adult, Hector spent much of his time in both Los Angeles and Chihuahua, home of his mother and his extended family, where he met and married his wife of 13 years. Hector had many roles, but would describe his greatest as that of a family man. He was a loving husband, a tireless, doting father to his son and his daughter. Hector was a charismatic leader for his kids' many extracurricular activities, and was an active parent and devoted parishioner at their school, St. Joseph Catholic Church in Upland. It was not uncommon for Hector to jet back from Industry Expo in, say, Italy to present a physics lecture at Cal Poly, then shuttle his kids to German school before rushing off for the weekend scout outing just before taking a family holiday in Chihuahua. In all of these realms, he was at the center of activity, and usually singing. Hector Mireles is survived by his wife Pilar Alicia Diaz Mireles, children Sebastian and Clarissa, his parents Ramon and Raquel Cordova Mireles, his siblings Dr. Lucia Mireles Chavez and husband Dr. Juan Chavez, Luis Ramon Mireles Cordova and wife Genoveva Avalos Mireles, and Ricardo Mireles Cordova and his wife Raquel Sanchez, and many beloved nieces, nephews, and extended family members and colleagues. May he rest in peace.
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. Any adjourning motions to my left? Seeing no other adjourning motions, our meeting is adjourned.